Let's talk Tanya for the 6th of Tishrei of a leap year. In the Tanya of the last few days, we explained how within the world of Atzilus, which is the world of godliness, the highest world of godliness, the Ein Sof, the infinite light of God, expresses itself and unites itself most specifically with the lowest level, Malchus, where it unites with Malchus in order to create Yesh Me'ayin, something from nothing. Today, we are going to step within the worlds that constitute creation. The three worlds of creation, the three different levels or spheres of creation, are what's known in Kabbalah as Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya. Those are the three worlds. And within those worlds also, we are going to see how the lowest level within every single world is connected to the infinite light of God, further bolstering the central idea of this chapter, which is the Noach Tchilasan B'Soifan, the value in the lowest level, specifically because the highest levels, the infinite light of God, is revealed in the lowest levels. So, within these three worlds of Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya, every single one of them, in a certain way, is a mirror image of each other, and also a mirror image of Atzilus, in that all of them contain 10 attributes. Again, the difference is that in Atzilus, these 10 attributes are all completely godly, and here we're talking about created attributes. And these attributes are divided generally into two. You have the masculine attributes, and then you have the lowest level of every single world, which is the feminine attribute, which is Malchus. And when these two come together, the masculine and the feminine, so then we have the birth and creation, and through the Malchus in every single world, we have the creation of all the elements and creations of that world, as well also that is what gives birth and creates the world beneath it. So what's interesting is that we see that we have the concept of creation, Bria Yesh Me'ayin, something from nothing, also within the system of worlds, which raises the question, how is that possible? We've already learned and we've stated and restated that the ability to create something from nothing is only within the ability of God himself, or the infinite light of God, and here we're talking about creation. So for this, the Alter Rebbe is going to give three answers, two of which we're going to learn today, one of which we will learn tomorrow. The first one is that if you remember, and this beckons back to what we spoke about a little while ago, a few days ago, that even in the system of worlds, in Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya, the neshama of the worlds, the essence and the core of the energy within these worlds also is godly. And therefore, the Ein Sof, the infinite light of God, filters down into the neshama of these worlds, and through the neshama of these worlds, we have the creation, the ability to create within these worlds also. That's one idea. The other idea is a highly mystical idea, which is that we have to remember that all the levels that we're talking about, even the infinite light of God that we're talking about, that's not the true infinity. That's not the infinity before everything began. We know that when God wanted to create the world, originally there was what's called the Tzimtzum Harishan. There was this original contraction where God contracted his light. Now remember, even the light after that contraction is still infinite, but that light slowly becomes lesser and lesser and lesser as it progresses through the various levels. Now, the very first level that emerges after that original contraction is called Adam Kadmon, which translates literally as the original man or primordial man, also known by the acronym of Ak, Aleph, Kuf, Adam Kadmon. And Ak, Adam Kadmon, over there is where you have the master plan and the original thinking and mapping out of everything in the entire system of godliness and afterwards of creation. Everything exists over there. That is, so to say, the blueprint. So after Ak, so then begins the actual implementation of the blueprint, and that works progressively and sequentially. You start with the higher levels, and the higher levels contract, lower levels, till ultimately we get to creation. But within Ak, everything is contained over there, so to say, as one, in a non-progressive fashion. And therefore, it turns out that relative to Ak, everything within the system is all equally sourced in Ak, including the worlds of Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya. So the ability to have creation as something from nothing within the worlds of Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya is, number one, as we said, because of the neshama of these worlds is godly, but number two, because of the relationship between these worlds and Ak. However, all of this is revealed specifically within the Malchus of every single world. Again, the idea that the lowest level of every single world, in it is manifest the highest levels of godliness. There's a third reason how it is that there is the power of creation also within the worlds of Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya, And that reason we will explore in tomorrow's Let's Talk Tanya.